Maurice, once the jurors left the courtroom, Cosby stood up and used an expletive directed at the DA, who was arguing to revoke Cosby's bail. It took jurors about 14 hours to reach their verdict after the 2-week retrial. This marks the first big celebrity trial of the Me Too era. A beaming Andrea Constand exited court as other women who've also accused Bill Cosby of sex assault walked out and collapsed in tears. Cosby raised his cane to shouts from the crowd waiting, but otherwise zero emotion from the now convicted comedian as he left, still free on bail pending sentencing. But minutes prior, an outburst inside the courtroom. Cosby yelled out to the district attorney, calling him an expletive after the DA asked that Cosby immediately be jailed because he might flee.
Well, I guess you got to see a brief view of who he was.
The man who rose to superstardom playing America's Dad on television will now likely spend his final years behind bars. 80-year-old Bill Cosby was found guilty on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault.
We are very disappointed by the verdict. We don't think Mr. Cosby is guilty of anything.
Cosby was convicted by a jury of 7 men and 5 women of drugging and molesting Temple University employee Andrea Constand at his suburban Philadelphia home back in 2004. His defense had argued the encounter was consensual. Constand sued Cosby after prosecutors initially declined to file charges. She settled for nearly $3.4 million, but a decade later, the criminal investigation was reopened.
She came here 14 years ago for justice. I am so happy today that I can say that although justice was delayed, it was not denied.
Outside of court, other women who have accused Cosby of sex assault celebrated the verdict.
This is a victory not just for Andrea Constand, whom I consider to be the Joan of Arc in the war on rape. It is also a victory for womanhood, and it is a victory for all sexual assault survivors, female and male.
Cosby's first trial last summer ended with a hung jury. He faces 10 years on each count, so potentially a total of 30 years, keeping in mind he is 80. His lawyers say they plan to appeal. Tonight he is home on $1 million bail. Christine Maurice.